Hello everybody, it's I Big On once again, and the time has finally arrived. The Haslab Spengler Proton Pack that I crowdfunded a year ago has finally showed up on my doorstep, or in my house. And as promised, from the Spengler 1 video, I'm going to show it off. And just to give you an idea how big this fucker is, here's the package it came in. It's it's uh it's half the size of my fucking couch. And let me tell you something. This fucker is heavy. I mean, I'm sure the Proton Pack itself, by itself, isn't going to be super heavy, but with all the shit that it comes with, holy crap, this fucker was heavy. So, let's get right into it. I can't even begin to tell you how long it took to take this fucking monstrosity out of the box. There were two cardboard boxes I had to take out. One was the box that held this thing in, and the other was the box to hold the box in. And it was so tight in the box that I basically had to cut. I had no choice but to cut a slit out of it to stop it from sticking to the sides. But anyway, here it is. Here's the box. I didn't even open it. All I did was cut the tape off. All I did was cut the tape so I could open it. I didn't even look inside yet. So, without further ado, let's take a look inside. But before I do, as you can see, it's modeled to be like, display case. It's modeled to be like the case that would be, that the Proton Pack would be. And as the fine people of Haslab has said during their unboxing video, even the box itself is a collector's item. So, let's take a look. Let's open this bad boy up. So, you can't really see it. In fact, it'd probably be better if I move the camera a little closer. Let's see how that is. There. So, there's wood graining here, and that is because it's modeled after the floor puzzle from Afterlife. So in here is the first thing you're treated with. So let's carefully take the stick, let's carefully take the tape off. It's a small envelope, and what is in this envelope? We have blueprints for the Proton Pack. No, I'm sorry. These are the actual instructions on how to put it together. Okay. My bad. Yep. These are the actual instructions on how to put it together. But what's cool is that they're modeled to look like blueprints. So we'll set this aside for now. The first order of business is getting to the nitty-gritty. So first what you have to do is, there's actually an arrow here. First, what you have to do is slide it over. You said it done, apparently. Right. Oh my god. I can't be the only one that has difficulty with this, really. Okay. So, I'm guessing you slide this forward and this panel pops up. So, again, easier fucking said than done. Oh, you bastard. Oh, there we go. Voila. So, in this box, it's modeled after the ghost trap. And it even opens like the ghost trap. In fact, here, let me get a knife and carefully open the tape. Everything's taped up. Everything's taped up. There. Alright, so what's inside this ghost trap? I wonder. And they are... they're the mini puffs! Inside this ghost trap are the mini puffs that have been featured in Afterlife. You get 4 of them. There's one right there. You get 4 of them. And from what I understand, they all have interchangeable heads. And And they put so much care and detail in all of this packaging. Even the packaging, like even the boxes that everything comes in, looks fantastic. Yep, there's even interchangeable heads. So you know I'm gonna keep this around. So we'll set that aside for now. We'll set the mini puffs aside. Like this is unreal. So let's set the mini puffs aside for now. Inside this box right here, it says phantasmical samples, potentially sentient, handle with extreme care. And I think I know what this is. In fact, I can guarantee you that I know what this is. So I'm going to have a trusty knife here. Okay. Let's take a look. Yep. These are the marshmallow slime attachments for the back of your Proton pack. Right there. Yeah. They clip on certain parts, certain points of the pack, and they just kind of hang there and drip there. And it's made out of a rubber material. Now, for those who backed this pack using a Hasbro Plus account, not only do you get the marshmallow slime that comes with it, but you also have some translucent green slime attachments, and those are coming separate. For those who back the pack, those are coming separate. So now let's take a look. Is there anything else in here? I don't think so. That's good. What's this attached to? It's attached to something. Let's get rid of the floor panel. Let's get rid of the floor puzzle. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more in here. Nope, I looked. There's nothing more in there. Now let's take a look at the main event. Now what's in here? Nothing. It just holds the second shroud in place now. Oh my god. Guys, it is absolutely a beauty. Whoa, this thing is heavy. Oh my god. Yep, that is definitely a beauty. Look at that fucking beauty. Holy shit. And it's got some heft to it. My god. Wow. I can't even believe looking at it. Like, I can't even believe I'm looking at this right now. And it's got its own, like, it's got its own straps and kidney belt. Oh my god. And the weathering looks fantastic. It's actually, you know what's funny? The weathering looks similar to what I did with my Spear Halloween pack. So we're going to put this aside right here, and then we'll take a closer look at the pack. Is there anything else in here? Ah, yes. We got a bunch of miscellaneous cardboard shit. There's one more thing on the bottom. One more thing on the bottom. And what's great about this is that this just makes a cool little storage thing on its own. Like, once you get all the cardboard and shit out of it, then there's plenty of room to put everything back. And this is the final piece of the puzzle here. The Haslab Spengler Nuclear Accelerator Storage Stand. This is that display stand that it comes with. And it also comes with, so this is the first thing that showed up. This is the very first thing that I saw when I opened up the box. And it's this. It's another white envelope. Probably should have used a knife, but this comes with brand new stickers for the entire pack. If you want to start fresh, and you want to, if you want to start fresh and just decorate with brand new stickers, so you can either leave it on its own, or do some of your own weathering. There you go. And there's even several decorative stickers. There's even a sticker sheet. Yep, that has some decorative stickers based on both the original Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters Afterlife. Like, too cool for Zool. Don't cross the street. Very synth vaporwave-esque shit. And then we have some like Stranger Things vibes going on with this one. The final thing that's in this pack is Egon Spengler's journal, and inside it we have actual schematics and blueprints. I'm assuming these are like blueprints and like concept. I'm assuming it's concept art for the movies that's in here. And there's like production photos and concept art, how everything works. It's incredible, and I'm pretty sure some of these photos and such actually show up in the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 training manual, the officially licensed training manual, which also shows off a bunch of the gear that comes with it. So we're gonna put this back in the envelope here. Just like that. Put that in there. Get rid of that. And let's see what else this bad boy comes with. Ah, yes. In a separate box. Right here. There it is. The Neutrino One hose. And a little stiff, but I'm pretty sure you can work it. Okay, this is funny. So you're gonna see this. It's an orange piece of plastic, and you're probably wondering, what the hell is that? Well, if you remember my video about the Spengler Neutrino Wand and how it has an orange tip, this is if you have the first model to make it convention safe, so that the cops don't assume that you have a rifle in your hand. But yeah, this is if you have the original model of the Spengler one and not the re-release from this year that has the orange tip. So I think it's funny. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they had that foresight to throw this in there. But I have absolutely no use for it. And in here, what is in here? There's something in here. I wonder what it could be. Ah! Okay. It's the ion arm that goes on the front of the pack. This was shipped separately for whatever reason. Yep, it goes right there. And it's made out of real brass. That's what really impresses me about these builds. That's what really impresses me about these builds. There's a ton of like real metal. There's a bunch of like real metal pieces on this glorified piece of plastic that are just rigid, and it's just so satisfying. And then the last piece, and the last bag, or the last piece that's in here, is another bag, and it's filled with miscellaneous. Where is it? A bag within a bag. What the hell? So it's filled with miscellaneous hardware. Right here. I'll dump some in my hand. So it's a bunch of screws, it's a bunch of brackets, and there's more in there. I'm just showing you what came out of it. There's screws, there's brackets, there's spacers, and you're probably wondering, did they accidentally get some parts from IKEA when they shipped this out? And the answer is no. This is for mounting it to a military backpack frame like they do in the movie. So they had the foresight to make it compatible with an Alice frame and threw in the extra equipment that you needed to mount it to an Alice frame. And I think that's really fucking cool. Now, I don't have any plans to mount it as of yet. I'm going to keep it as is for now, but I'm definitely going to keep the parts for the Alice frame in case I change my mind later. And then the final thing that is in that box these are parts for the display case. These are parts for the display stand. And once I fully assemble everything and everything ready to turn on and show off, I'll show the full package. So, for now I have to clean up, put everything together, and then I'll show you what this bad boy looks like in action. Well, here it is, fully unboxed. Oh man, so I'm in awe of this thing, honestly. I truly am in awe of this damn thing. For years, I've wanted like a full-sized, full-sound, full-action fucking Proton pack. And let me tell you something. My journey of being a Ghostbusters cosplayer started almost a decade ago. The first thing I got was the flight suit, and then from there I started getting the gear. And the first thing that I wanted to start with was a Proton pack. And up until that point, the first Proton pack I ever got was the fucking plastic blue Kenner pack. And that was lost in a fire when I was a kid. In fact, pretty much all of my Ghostbusters toys were lost in a cabin fire. My grandmother's cottage up in Hubbard Lake, Michigan, burnt down, and along with it were all of our childhood toys, including the long sought after Ghostbusters firehouse with all the figures and shit to go with it, and the Ghostbusters gear. Which, were I able to salvage that, I'd be looking on over thousands of dollars worth of merchandise, second hand. But anyway, here it is. You know, it's full sized. It's taken. It's molded directly from the prop molds that were on set on Afterlife. $400. This is about as fucking movie accurate as you're gonna get for $400. But anyway, let me continue my story. I'm getting ahead of myself. My first Proton pack I built out of Tupperware and cardboard. You know, and it only bore a very slight resemblance to the Proton pack in the 1984 movie. But I wasn't trying to make it look like the one from the movie. I wanted to make my own. I kind of took inspiration from both the movies and the cartoon series and made it much more streamlined. Okay, so it had a cyclotron, it had a shot guard, it had an ion arm, but it didn't have all the wires that went on it. It had a crank mount, and it definitely had a ribbon cable, but it wasn't like an actual ribbon cable from a computer. It was a piece of fabric that I put rainbow lines on in marker. And it didn't have any of the warning labels or anything like that. But, again, you know, it wasn't movie accurate, but it wasn't meant to be. It was mine. You know, that's what mattered, is that it was mine. And then soon after I started making the gear from scratch. I made a ghost trap out of a fucking shoebox I've made And during the editing of this video, I'm probably going to show up. I'll probably show off pictures of what I made. I made the Acto goggles. I didn't even make. They were literally just magnifying. They were a magnifying headset with a light attached to it. Those are my Acto goggles. I made two versions of PKE meter. One was literally just a box with a flashlight in it, and the antenna was a camera phone tripod. That was the antenna, and it had a plastic screen. So when I turned on the flashlight, you saw like the display screen light up. And the second PK meter was literally just a phone case. I made a special video on my phone so that when I'm looking for ghosts, I would play the video and it would play the music, it would play the sound of the PK meter from the cartoon, and you'd see like a radar screen. It does all those blips and shit, and it was literally just my phone in a custom-made phone case to look like a PK meter. And then eventually Spirit Halloween started releasing all their crap. So as I was getting stuff from Spirit Halloween, I phased out the stuff that I made. And as for what happened with all the stuff that I made, well, I just left it. When I moved out of my late grandparents' house to this house, and my cousin bought the house from us, I just left it with him. I said, hey, your son might get a kick. Your son might get a kick out of them. Have at it. What's mine is his now. I've had my fun with the Proton pack and stuff, but they were falling apart, and they were probably going to end up being thrown out anyway. But it's the memories. It's the memories. So going back to this Proton pack, $400 is a fucking steal considering what it comes with. And what's really cool, and this is one of the selling points here. You can take it apart like Phoebe does in the movie. Take that, take off the shock mount here. Yep. And the wires that are plugged into it, they pop right back in. And then you take off the cyclotron, and there is the middle. And there it is. There's the cyclotron. And this comes off. That comes off. You see all the little extra wiring in there. Now, it's purely cosmetic. And then if you go on the other side of this, you see there's like little things that you could play with that you could mix and match, and you take them out and mix and match them, and it's incredible the amount of detail they put in this damn thing. So let me put the gyro. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's the gyro. I'm assuming it's a gyro thing. This is what makes all the noise and rumbling in the pack, I think. Yep, there it is. And then you put it back to the best of your ability. That's that. Let's come up right here. Put the shock mount back on. Oh, one thing I didn't show off. There's little switches on the inside of this, on the inside of the cyclotron, that toggle both the motor to make it vibrate. Yes, it vibrates. You can turn that on or off. Or if you want it in 1984 mode or Afterlife mode. If it's 1984 mode, it's the classic Proton pack noises, and the lights just go one at a time in a clockwise pattern. If you turn on Afterlife mode, it plays the music. It plays the updated version of the Proton pack booting up, and then the cyclotron lights go around really fast in a circle. And there's an Easter egg where if you take off the ribbon cable while the Proton pack is on, you'll hear like the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men fucking around with it, and you hear the warning lights in Afterlife mode. But in 1984 mode, it's the sound of the containment unit being shut down and going haywire.
Just fucking amazing. And sometimes, and other people have pointed this out, sometimes you'll get like little audio Easter eggs depending on which mode it's in. If it's in Afterlife, you can kind of hear the Stay Puft dudes just kind of giggling, and if it's in 1984 mode, you can hear Slimer, kind of roaring and shit. It's, oh my god, it's it's fucking incredible, the amount of detail that's in this damn thing. And the thing that blows my mind about this is that there's people that look at this and they're like, oh, well, it's missing all this detail, blah, 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 which is fine and all. I just think it's weird that you're going to be I just think it's weird to be nitpicky over stuff like that when for $400, this is about as movie accurate as you're going to get. And I'll show off the lights and shit, in a minute. But I saw a post on one of my Facebook groups that I'm on, one of my Ghostbusters Facebook groups, and it's this dude who's like pissed off because, oh my god, now I'm just gonna see, people with everyone wearing this pack. In other words, he's like, oh, this is cheating. If you don't spend hundreds and thousands of dollars building your pack from scratch, then you're not a real Ghostbusters fan, which is fucking stupid. Ghostbusters is the last fucking fandom that should have gatekeepers. There needs to be more keymasters. See what I did there? And like, I don't know, man. It's just weird that there's gatekeepers in Ghostbusters when the whole point is like a bunch of dudes, bunch of friends getting together, throwing a bunch of shit together and seeing what sticks. Seeing what works, what doesn't. And people building their Proton packs from scratch and not making the movie accurate and making their own. It's in the spirit of that. It should, like, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, if you cosplay Ghostbusters, it shouldn't matter if it's movie accurate or not. All that matters is that you're having fun, and even if your Proton pack's made out of fucking cardboard like mine was. Are you a Ghostbuster? Do you have a Proton pack? Fuck it, you're one of us. And then I built my Spirit Proton pack. I revamped it from the ground up using stuff that I bought from Etsy and other Etsy and eBay to, like, there's entire like modification kits to make the Spirit Proton pack look less like shit. And this is awesome. And one more thing I want to point out, there's another Proton pack supposedly coming from fun.com, but the more I hear about it, the more it sounds like just a giant scam. And it was supposed to launch in January of last year, but it just keeps getting delayed, and so far not a single video has been shown as to how it works. And recently, just now, they're saying, oh, well, it's not going to be full size. It's going to be slightly smaller than the movie-size Proton pack, which is bullshit because they advertise it as full size. And you look at the pictures, it looks like absolute dog shit. And let me tell you something. This, along with everything that came with it, was $399. With the fun.com Proton pack, they want, just the pack with the hose attached, just the pack with the neutrino wand attached, $500, which is bullshit. Especially when it looks like a cheap, plastic trap. It just looks like, a slightly better version of the Spirit Proton pack. But anyway, enough bitching. Let's get some batteries in this bitch and fire up, shall we? Alright, so I got the batteries in, and one thing I forgot to mention is that there's a hidden compartment right here. You press this button right here, it looks like a screw, and come on, you bastard. Oh, there we go. And there's a hidden compartment. What's the purpose of it? I don't fucking know. Maybe throw some extra batteries in there. Maybe throw one of those little guys in there. But, it's there. So, this is the amount of cardboard left over after I finally, put everything together. And there's the hose. I'll show with the hose. So, Adam Savage pointed this out. The way it connects with the pack is you take like there's a sensor here, and there's wires running through this hose, and it detects the wand through a connection, so you don't need a battery pack. It feeds off of the proton pack. But anyway, let's switch this bad boy on. Switch is right there. There's another switch, but right here, but it does nothing. I think it's purely decoration. But anyway, here we go. Oh my god. That is what I've been waiting half my life for. Now, one thing I will say, and it's a complaint that I've heard across the board. Is it moving? Yeah, I hear it moving. I hear it vibrating. Here. Oh, yeah. And the crank knob is the volume control right here. In all honesty, it's not that loud. I know people have already been modding the crap out of it to boost up the volume, but and then you turn it off here. Wow, it's blowing my mind how cool this is. So the one complaint I hear across the board with the Spengler Proton Pack is that it doesn't stay on for long. I think it's like a 3-minute window until it, automatically shuts off. And if you want to keep it on, you have to keep fiddling with the neutrino wand. Otherwise, inactivity on both ends will cause it to shut off. And I get why a lot of people are upset. They're like, hey, I want to walk around without having to keep fucking with it to keep it on. Am I going to have someone walk with me and just ruin the whole vibe? I get what they put it on there, but it's just kind of weird that they have all these little extra bells and whistles meant for cosplayers in mind, from the extra safety tip to little storage place there, to throwing in equipment to mount it to an Alice frame should you choose to do so. They've thrown all these little extra bells and whistles, and apparently they also make it easy to mod. Like they deliberately made it so that it's easy to modify without doing too much to the pack itself. And yet they don't have a feature where it stays on indefinitely, for people who want to walk around with this thing on. I don't know, it's just kind of weird that they give extra thought to literally everything else except for keeping the damn thing on. But anyway, that's 1984 mode, and I'm going to switch it to Afterlife mode in just a second. All right, so here it is in Afterlife mode. I just switched it. There he goes. Yep. Slightly different startup sound, slightly different lights and sounds. Let me show you what I meant with the ribbon cable. Let me take this off real quick. And if you put it back on, it's kind of a pain to put it back in. Give me a second. You gotta there's a way to do it. How the fuck do you put it back in? Okay, so you gotta pull them apart. Okay. Sorry, folks. There it goes. Yep. Put it back on, it's back to normal. And when you shut it off... Now let's see what it sounds like in 1984 mode. Okay, so 1984 mode. Let's remove the ribbon cable. The containment unit shutting down. There's even like a slow fade out with the LED to show you that it's losing power and shutting down. That is fucking amazing.
And here it is. In all of its glory. Let me try to. There we go. Let's turn on this pet. Let's turn on the Spengler wand. Whoa. Let's light them up, boys. Holy shit. Like, you can feel the vibrations of this damn thing on your back. I don't know if I'd be able to feel as much with the flight suit, but this thing is fucking hefty. And unfortunately, the shoulder straps do kind of dig in a little bit, even on the settings that are meant for thick boys. Which I actually appreciate that they went out of the way to say, hey, we made this with heavier cosplayers in mind. But, yeah. And as you can see, this was barely on for a minute until it shut down on its own. However, if you turn it on, the pack turns right back on, you know? It shuts off after about a minute. The wand shuts off after about a minute of inactivity, and then the pack shuts off with it. So let's, yeah, wand's on. Give it a minute. Turns off. Yep, turns off, but you turn it back on. Turns it back on. See, this is I can understand why people are frustrated at this feature. That you, in order to keep using it, you have to keep, fucking with it. But anyway, it's really nice. But it is cool that you can turn it right back on. You know. Now, as for mounting this back, I don't know how the fuck they did it. I don't. You know, this is why my spirit pack has magnets, so I don't have to be exact with it. In fact, I think I pointed this out in the last video with the Spengler unboxing. There's a hook on here that you can just clip onto your belt, so you don't have to worry about trying to put it back on the clip. But there it is, the Spengler Proton pack. I've waited an entire year for this, and I cannot overstate how happy I am with this damn thing. Now, of course, like I said, there's gonna be purists or like, oh, well, this weathering smudge isn't accurate. I have to repaint it from the ground up in order to make it accurate. And that's on them. They want to do it, fine. But this is perfect just the way it is. I'll never get tired of that power-up sound. And it just feeling the pack on your back, start to vibrate and shit when you turn it on. It feels like there's a nuclear accelerator on your back, an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on your back. It just feels like it. So, yeah. This is one of the coolest fucking... I'm awestruck with the amount of work and care and love that Hasbro and the Haslab put into both the Spengler wand and the Haslab Proton pack. And once again, like, this is a childhood dream. This has been a childhood dream of mine. This has been a dream of mine ever since childhood, to have a fully sized working light and sound proton pack. And I have one now. I would have had to spend thousands of dollars for one, from an independent supplier. Managed to get one for $400 from Hasbro themselves. So, as always, thank you for watching. This is the entirety of everything that goes with the Proton Pack from Hasbro. Unfortunately, if you want one and didn't get a chance to get one, you're shit out of luck. They have I don't think they have any plans of redistributing, remaking and redistributing these. And the only way you're going to get one of these is secondhand through scalpers, at exorbitant prices, far more than what you would have paid if you backed it to begin with. But to all the Ghostbusters fans out there, happy bustin'. As for me, bustin' does make me feel good. Big Al. Over and out.